Finally, call the immigration department. Maybe you control them too. They're part of the police force. And let them tell you that when I got my first passport, you could not walk 45 years ago. Before I left that night to travel abroad, Mr. Burnham told me two things. One, he said a country that cannot defend itself is not worthy of nationhood. And then he said to me, my son, you have one home, and that's where you were born. This video is not for, by the way, this video is not for those who think they must vote PPP because they're Indo-Guyanese, and those who think they should vote PNC or APNU because they're Afro-Guyanese. This video is for patriots. When our soldiers were shot up at the borders, I heard you talking the other day about Guyanese should be, you don't have to worry about anything. You know, you are prepared, you're looking into the Venezuelan aggression, etc., etc. Let me tell you something. Before you talk, let us have some logistics. Let me hear your planning and your execution. Give me some logistics. Tell me how you're going to move men and supply or supplies to the front. How many fronts you're going to fight on. Tell me how you're going to move your dead and your wounded. Tell me. I'm asking these questions because if a war should break out, I am going to be one of the first men when you call to bear arms. I am going to be one of the first men. I'm 68 years old. But nobody is going to disrespect my country. You, Jack Dale Anil, you work for another nation. Your actions says everything. Not what you say in words. Your actions. Ali, if I cannot trust you with a baby, the investigation of the death of a baby, how can I trust you with the results of an election? Who in the PPPC is hungry, so hungry for power, that they would do anything, including putting one of the founding fathers of this nation on a plane all by himself, knowing that others, foreign nations, wanted him dead? You see, you all painted Burnham in such a bad way. And I saw 20 and 22 years old people I know talking about Mr. Burnham as if they know, matter of fact, that this man was so bad. You know who lectured to me at coffees? Ranji Chandi Singh, a master. Ranji would feed you all the information, but he would not connect them. That is what made him a master. He put you to the test. You know who sent him to lecture to us? Political orientation at coffees? Burnham. He was a staunch PPP, and Burnham said, I want you. That's who Burnham was. You know who was Burnham's best friends? And it was confirmed the other day when I visited an old man. Because I know himself and Lila Kisoon were good, and the Kisoons, but I never knew they were that close. I think Lila is still alive. The Kisoons and the Sankars from Escribo, those were Burnham's closest friends, Indians. And you all call him racist. Let me tell you a story to end this video. By the way, this video is in honor of Adriana Young, because I think deep within me that death was human sacrifice, and nobody can come and convince me otherwise other than God himself. And it's God who is giving me this message that was human sacrifice. Back to the story I want to tell you. I was by Mr. Burnham Belfield, and he said, "Chap," addressing me, and I didn't answer him. And he started laughing. So I said, "Well, you got it right." He said, "Man, you know, you're a pain in the ass." I said, "Really?" I said, "My name is not Chap, and my name is not Young Raddy. I have a name. I have a name to carry." He said, "Okay, you went to Swami, right?" I said, "No, I went to Hindu college, and Hindu college is owned by Swamis." And he started laughing. He said, "You know, I really like you. You're very straight." He said, "Do you know Ramsuk?" And I stopped. Mr. Ramsuk was a genius, a maths genius. He taught me at a Hindu college. Ramsuk would come into the class and everybody would laugh if he has a cane. He never whipped a child. He would never embarrass you by calling you out and give you a stick of chalk to go on the board. Never. He would lay sticks of chalk on the front desk, and he would ask, "Would anyone like to attempt the problem? And if it's okay with you, you come out." He would use the cane because he would not want to be in front of the blackboard. He would want everyone to see. And he was so slick that if he finds that some people doesn't understand certain problems, like there's something you call mechanical problem, where you find the answer at the beginning of the problem, you find the solution, but you have to work below to show how you got the answer. He would take the books of like 2 desks, the kids in 2 desks, and he would take them home. And the next day he would take 2 more desks and he would take them home. And he would see where you're weak. When I explained to Burnham who this man was, you know what Burnham told me? "How can we get people to move along that line, to emulate this man?" I said, "You cannot emulate a genius. You have to get the Ministry of Education to understand how you can go about getting kids to learn and love you at the same time."